This is for Coach and for Sean. Watching you guys back in December to now, the thing that struck me, Sean, when I would watch you play is you seem to be the heartbeat of the team. What I mean by that is with the efforts you play with. Talk about how you being able to rise to the occasion in such key moments, because I felt like those 5 threes you hit were all at key times. And, Coach, talk about that.
Yeah. Well, Coach also talked about in the locker room, champions make championship plays. Just as simple as that.
Let's have one more question, and then we're going to go over for the TV that's waiting on y'all, too.
I'll elaborate on his really quick.
Go ahead.
Is that that was the one thing we talked about is more important than any strategy in this game was making plays. And that's sometimes lost with coaches, I believe, that the number one thing you can get your players to do is to play with great confidence. This group and this guy doesn't need a coach to do that for them. This guy and our team, they don't need that because they're champions, and that's what they do. They came here and made championship plays.
Let's get one last question, and we're going to let y'all go to the TV waiting for you, okay?
Oh, yeah, another question. I've got 15 questions. One thing that surprised me more than anything else, 2 rebounds for Garrison Brooks. If someone could speak about that, the points were going to come or not come, but that to me that spoke about the encapsulating what you guys did against him.
T, why don't you start? You want to start with that?
Yeah, well, when we scouted him, we noticed that he averaged 5 offensive rebounds and 10 rebounds a game. So that was a key focus of us, just trying to keep him off the glass. And I had 11 rebounds this game. I had 19 last game. So that was a key point, just keep him off the glass and everybody just rebound.
I think, to elaborate on that, I think one of the things we talked about in our game was our guards had to come down there and jump for every ball. Regardless if they got the rebound, it could affect the outcome. And I'm really proud of our guards coming in there. Even though they didn't show up great on the stat sheet, they affected every rebound.
Well, Coach, I know we got other questions. Well, let's do them across the hall. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
And,
you.
guys, great championship team here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're so proud you're in here, Coach.
Well, I want to come anyway.
I know you did. I know you did.
I ain't gonna never
Right.
win or lose. I'm sure.
This is one of our great coaches. If y'all don't know him, you really missed out on knowing one of our great coaches who's been around a long, long time. And he and Coach Brandt make one of the best combinations I've ever seen with almost a father-son attitude. How many years have you coached?
About 30 years of basketball.
Got over 700 wins.
He's been coaching, though, for 40 years at least, hasn't you, Coach?
Right. 46.
46 total. Antone, I appreciate you joining us. Is Garrison on the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you're asked a question, we'll just ask him. I'm talking to the mic, and Coach is going to sit down. He's going to sit here and talk. Tristan, I want to get you to help me here. I want you to come here and hold this mic for Coach talk. Can you get it in?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, he's
I got
fine.
it.
If you, this is my grandson, Coach.
Okay, how you doing?
He's here to help me and you.
Okay.
Okay.
We apologize for just
Okay.
scoping around.
That's fine. Okay, Garrison, you're right back here. And when you ask a question, just please speak into the mic. I believe this is let's go ahead and thank you, Coach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Auburn High School, the 2017 Class 7A runner-ups. Coach Frank Talbert, one of our all-time heroes here. We appreciate you being here. And, Coach, make any comments you want to make to start, and then we'll just have questions for you and your players, okay?
Okay, well, it's, it was good that we was able to make it this far. And we have a group of young men that really work their tail off. So they work hard, had no problems. This is the best group I enjoy coaching because you could tell them anything, they would do what you asked to do.
Okay, questions for Coach or the players?
Coach Talbert, during that 17-1 run that they had during the fourth quarter, what did you see from your perspective that was working well for them and wasn't working well for you, when they were able to get their separation there?
Well, I tell you, I actually think what happened was that the first half hurt us. That led to that because we was in foul trouble, and then we was only down 2 points at halftime. So we thought maybe we could control that, but what happened, they just took out everything we tried to do. But then we couldn't stop them from doing the thing that they was doing. So you have to give them credit that they played hard. They subbed a lot, so they had a lot more substitution than we did. So, subs than we did at least.
Questions for coach or players? You got another one? Okay.
Just going off that, you mentioned the foul trouble. Was it early in the game? Was that something that you think you kind of felt like you had to compensate for later? And just how much did you feel like you were just in a hole with Garrison with 3 and Christian with 3? I think it was early in the second quarter that they both had around 3 fouls. How much of a hole did that put you in?
Well, that put us in the deep hole because those are the starters, and we only go about 7 or 8 deep.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big difference right there. The big thing I think was that Mountainburg did some things I didn't think that they could do, but they did a whole lot of good things.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got us all combobulated, and we just didn't do the thing we was trying to do.
Right.
We knew that we had to keep the ball out the corner because that's where they like to trap us at.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got in a tough situation. They trapped us, and we couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah, it seemed like in the first half. Sure, it seemed like in the first half, or at least the first quarter, while you guys were still good with foul trouble and all that, you were taking calculated possessions. It seemed like you were doing well in the half court, and then the foul trouble started. Antoine got hurt. It kind of seemed like as the pace got away from you, the game got away from you. Do you think that was the case tonight?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, other questions back here? Okay, yes, ma'am.
Garrison, in the last minute or so of the game, we saw you consoling teammates and making sure that you shook every one of their hands. What were you saying to those guys as you were going down the line and consoling them?
Honestly, when I was going down that line, I thanked every one of my teammates because we worked so hard to get to this point. But most of all, I think it's great and it's a learning experience, honestly, because I think nobody expected us to be here, and I couldn't be more proud of all of our players.
Other questions for players or coach? Here,
Antoine, just to get here, just to get to this point, as Garrison said, not a lot of people had you guys, going past the number 1 team in Lee Montgomery, and then you knocked off Central. Just to get to this point, what does it say about this team?
That we don't go down without a fight, and everything happens for a reason, and I wouldn't have it any other way with any other team.
Other questions for Coach Tauber, Coach Brandt, or either of the players? Okay, you got one? Okay.
Garrison, they were crowding you inside the whole game. What kind of problems were they presenting you because they were able to control you on the boards?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was just I think they had a good game plan and good strategy. I think we knew we kind of knew what they were gonna do. We just didn't adjust fast enough, honestly. So it was a mistake we made, and they just took advantage of it.
Other questions? Any other questions?
I guess, just really quick, we heard from Coach Tolbert, Coach Brandt. How proud are you of these kids and this team for making it this far? I know it's not the ending you were hoping for, but you've had a heck of a season with these guys.
Well, I've been coaching with Coach Tolbert for about 23 years and then playing for 4 years. And this group of guys, I know when I went home at night, every night, that I could go home rest at ease because of the character that they had on and off the court. They were tremendous toward each other and toward us, and they continue that in their lessons. They continue that when they bonded, going to movies. They're awesome bunch of guys that I know that they're going to have great futures ahead of them, and it's a testimony to them and just the way their parents raised them. And they did everything, and I think that's truly why we got as far as we did. They bought into the system. They believed in each other, and it just didn't happen to be the scenario we wanted this year. We wanted to win it all, and that's what we were telling ourselves at the very beginning, and we just fell a little short. But it's not because of the effort that they put into this season. It was a class act from day one.
Any other questions? Well, coaches, we do appreciate it. Players,